Hi everyone, it's me, Osme, and welcome to the SOAR series. And this is episode 6, and it is currently 12 a.m. And I just could not sleep until I figured this out. And so I wanted to share it with you all, to all the people who are struggling to take leaps of their own. And the subject that I'm talking about is the difference between taking big bursts, big steps, versus small steps consistently. And I've actually broke it down here where we are going to be comparing small steps versus big bursts of steps and seeing the pros and cons to them, because as I realized recently, it's that I prefer the big bursts of, let me just deal with it today and I'll focus on it today and I'll achieve it today, versus let me do a little bit each day. And that's something that I want to learn. So let me break it down, or at least how I broke it down. So a big burst is basically a big step in one day, but you can burn out over time. So it's not really feasible to do this every single day. Your health will be compromised. And with a big jump, there's a shaky foundation. A good example to this is a Halloween costume you make day of. And I decided this Halloween to make alien gloves. And I have not picked up my sewing machine in a while. But I made those gloves. And I dirtied them that night and then I threw them away. So with that big step, I had to throw out the gloves. They wouldn't last. Or at least I'm just not at that level yet where I can make something that has a great foundation in a short amount of time, especially if it's something that I'm new at. But it gets the task done. That's the pro to it. And it moves projects along. So when I'm doing something I don't like, I can just knock it out in one day, like folding the laundry. That will just pile on until I decide to fold it. 5 to 10 business days later. But the pitch here is to start doing small steps consistently. And with this, it requires less energy and time per day, but it adds on over time. So in that case, it's more of a sustained growth. And the thing that I'd like to visualize is watering plants. Sometimes I look at my plants and I see that they're dying, they're drying out, and that's because I did not water them and then I flood them with water. That is not the solution. They want something consistent, watering weekly, not whenever I remember them. And that's how they grow better. That's literally how I was able to save my office plant, because I've just been watering it weekly instead of remembering once in a while. It shows progress, builds trust, and you can work on bigger projects. So think, instead of the Halloween gloves, making a dress, right? So when do you use either one? Because to be fair, everything is a balance, right? So I have, for small steps, and for taking small steps consistently, you want those for big and permanent projects. So for example, a cooking example is if you wanted to cook a turkey or meal prep, you need to take a whole day for that, or multiple days. If you want to improve something, goal achieving, habit forming. And then for big bursts, it's for small and temporary steps. So let's say the cooking example is a quick 1 to 2 day dinner where you're just cooking for 4 people. Cleaning, and a rough start. So if you were prototyping something, and I prefer a big burst, and that might be just because nowadays we're all conditioned to instant gratification. But what I realize is if I want to make something last, I have to do it consistently and in smaller steps. Something that I've found that helped with this is tracking. Tracking is one of them, and also the rule of never let yourself miss more than 2 days. All right, so that's what I have so far. I hope you guys have a great night. I will go to sleep now. Good night.